Hi, it's Emma Nørgaard. So I'm doing an all drugstore / affordable foundation routine today. And this foundation routine is full coverage, it's matte, it's contoured and blush and everything, the whole route. And when I say I'm using all drugstore / affordable products, then I really mean all. Like everything is drugstore or affordable. So the foundation I'm using in this tutorial is Wet n Wild's CoverAll cream foundation, and I got sent this from makeuponline.dk to review, so I'll leave a link to the site down below. And I am in love with this foundation. When I was younger, I always had problems with finding a good full coverage foundation at the drugstore, because most drugstore foundation, they're like light to medium coverage, and then like so many of them are so dewy and shiny, and it was really hard for me to find like a good foundation at the drugstore. I really like Maybelline Superstay foundation. That's still one of my favorites, but it used to be my #1 favorite drugstore foundation. But this is now my #1 drugstore foundation. So it has really nice, good coverage. It's medium to buildable, so if you apply 2 layers, then you'll get like a full coverage type of look. And also this is in the shade Fair, and it's light enough for my skin tone. Normally at the drugstore I can never find foundations that are pale enough for me. But as you can see, my face matches my chest, so I'm really happy about that. And also this does not have that super dewy kind of finish. This has a demi matte finish. So all in all, I just love this foundation. So from Makeup Online, I also got this Wet n Wild CoverAll Coverstick, and this is what I used around my eyes to brighten my eye area. And this is really quite nice as well. It's very dry, so it won't crease as easily. But it's also a little stiff, so it can be a little bit hard to work with. And it has kind of a medium coverage. Generally, I also really like this. So the lady that has the makeuponline.dk shop was so nice. I just asked for the foundation, the concealer, and 1 eyeshadow palette. But she actually sent me 2 more items, which was really sweet of her. That was such a nice surprise. So I also got Sleek's Acid palette, which is an eyeshadow palette, and I have wanted to try Sleek's eyeshadow palettes for forever. So it looks like this. It has so many gorgeous colors, and I will definitely I'll definitely do a tutorial with this palette. Okay, so as a surprise, she also sent me NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and you guys know that this is my favorite base. It's a matte white. Okay, so the last thing she sent me was this other Sleek eyeshadow palette, and this is the Ultra Mattes palette, and this is volume 1. So this one also has a whole lot of really bright, beautiful colors. So Makeup Online is located in Denmark. She does ship internationally, and I'll leave a link to the site down below. And she has so many brands. She has Sleek and Wet n Wild, NYX, BH Cosmetics, Sigma, Bourjois, like so many brands. So I will do tutorials with each of these Sleek eyeshadow palettes. So I'm just gonna come up close and personal so you can kind of see the foundation. I don't have a script, so every time I do videos I'm always sitting here thinking about what I need to say. I'm like going over my checklist like in my head, like I need to say this. But I don't know, I'm always afraid I'm gonna forget something. But I guess I said everything that I wanted to say. So let's get into this foundation routine tutorial. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by getting my hair out of the way. And I'm sorry about the wet patches on my shirt. I accidentally laid my shirt on top of a wet towel, so pardon me. So I'm starting out with foundation, and I'm using Wet n Wild's CoverAll cream foundation, and my color is Fair, and it's the lightest. And this color is great if you have a light skin tone like me. Normally most drugstore foundations don't really go as light as my skin tone, but this one does. This foundation, however, doesn't come in a lot of darker skin tones. So if you are darker, I would suggest that you would try e.l.f. Studio Flawless Finish Foundation. And I go down my neck as well. And my favorite way to blend out my foundation is definitely by using my H&M Makeup Sponge. And I'm going to spray it with e.l.f. Mist and Set. And you could use water instead. This is just to make my sponge damp. And this foundation has become my #1 favorite drugstore foundation. And you get that nice full coverage by patting your foundation in. Now I'm done with the first layer. So I'm just gonna let it dry for a minute and then I'm gonna come back and apply a second layer. And by comparing my chest to my face, you can see that this foundation is a very good match for my skin tone. My eyes are still kind of dark, but that's just mainly because of my allergies. But the rest of my skin, you know, as you can see on my chest and on my arms, is that light pale color, which completely matches the foundation. And as you can see, this foundation sets to a demi matte finish. It's not completely matte, but it's very close. So now I'm going in with my second layer, and I'm only applying a second layer where I need it. And for me, that's my cheeks. So I have some acne scarring on this cheek, but I have most of it on this cheek, so I apply a little bit more over here. And then I go ahead and pat that out. And this foundation is pretty buildable, so you can definitely just apply a layer more if you need it. And for concealer, I'm gonna use Wet n Wild's CoverAll Coverstick, and my color is light. And again, this does not come in a lot of shades, so if you are a darker skin tone, I would suggest trying e.l.f. Studio Concealer Kit. But I'm going to use this around my eyes. And then just go ahead with your sponge again, and you just want to blend this concealer out. So I'm using my favorite powder, which is Rimmel Stay Matte Press Powder. And this color is transparent. And I'm using e.l.f. Studio Powder Brush. And you just want to pat the powder in place. Don't start sweeping, because then you'll sweep away your foundation. So just go ahead and pat like this. And you just want to set the foundation on your neck as well. Okay, so around the eyes you can go in and just apply your powder with your big powder brush. But for me that doesn't work because my concealer will start creasing if I do it like that. So I always take a small blending eyeshadow brush. This one is from e.l.f. It's the Essentials Blending Eye Brush. And I go in with my powder and I just go ahead and blend out any creases. And then I go straight ahead and apply my powder. And doing it like this, you will really set your concealer. And this will keep it in place all day. But because this foundation is so full coverage, your face might look a little bit flat and without color and dimension. So I like to contour. So I take my e.l.f. Studio Contouring Blush and Bronzing Powder in St. Lucia. And I take the bronzing side. And I get that with my e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush. And this bronzer and blush comes in different shades. So they even have a bronzer that's darker than this one. So if you are a darker skin tone, that will also be a bronzer that's even darker than this, so you can take that out. But then I go ahead and I contour my cheekbones. And it looks really dramatic right now. But I'm going to blend it out and it's gonna look fine. And then I start around my temple. And I start contouring up on my forehead, and I just go from one side and onto the middle of my forehead, and then I go from the other side and onto the middle of my forehead. And then I just look straight ahead and I start contouring along my jaw, and I blend it a little bit downwards onto my neck. And then lastly I just run a little bit along my nose. And you would think that that would be contour enough, but I actually like to take another contour from my BH 10-piece blush palette. So I use this one up here. It's a matte dark brown. And from my Milani Babe bronzer, I take the little brush that comes with it. And I go ahead and pick up some of that brown color. And I just add a little more definition along my cheekbones. And then I take e.l.f. Studio Fan Brush with the same brown. And I use this along my nose. And I usually just go a little bit into the crease of my eyes, and this just brings the whole look together. So because you don't want the contour to be this harsh, you want to take a big fluffy powder brush and your powder, and you just want to go ahead and pick some of that powder up and then blend this contour out. And of course you want to blend out the contour along your jaw as well, and the contour around your nose and eyes, and the contour around your forehead. And now I'm going for some color, so I'm going back into my 10-piece blush set from BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to take the bright kind of body pink over here, and I'm taking that with e.l.f. Studio Blush Brush, and I apply this from the apple and back into the contour. And the way you find your apples is by smiling. So this, the round thing that pops up is your apple. So just apply it from the apple and then backwards into the contour. And then for a little bit more dimension, I'm going to take the blush that comes with the bronzer and the blush compact. And this blush is shimmery, whereas the other blush was matte. So this will give just a nice kind of dimension to the face. So I apply this a little bit higher up on the cheekbone. So go ahead with your powder one more time and blend that in. Okay, so now I'm just going to brush my brows into place. And then I'm going to take my mist and set spray from e.l.f. again. And I'm going to use this to set my makeup. Okay, so that's all. I'm gonna take my hair down. So that is the foundation routine done. You can go ahead and do your eyes and your lips now. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will leave links to my Twitter and my Instagram down below, so you can go check it out and follow me if you want to. But other than that, have a great day. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.